Welcome back to another episode.
Las Sueninos
Vamos, mi gente.
Aquí estamos otra vez de nuevo para entretenerlos cuando están limpiando, barriendo. ¿Qué más?
Lo que sea, hombre.
Working.
But thank you for clicking on the video again.
Yes, guys. Thank you, guys. Welcome back. Y aquí andamos.
Así es. Well, Margarita, how you doing?
I'm doing good. But
Good.
I'm
Should
good.
be fantastic.
I'm good. I'm fantastic. But you know, life sometimes hits
Life,
you.
huh?
Yes. So I just want us to really, I know it's a little silly, but I know some of you might think it's silly, but I want us to keep Mr. Maverick the Ween. I'll insert his Instagram here. He's not doing too well. So I really hope he does get better because poor little baby.
Los que no sepan, he's basically a weenie dog, and right now he's going through some tough times. But yes, let's give him the positive energy that he needs.
He does.
And like Margarita said, keep on your prayers.
Yes, my
Pa todos los doggies.
just thinking about it gets me a knot on my throat. I'm like, okay, but back to it.
Well, with that being said, if you haven't seen our last episode, go check it out. It has to do with Mexican Independence Day. And if you haven't seen it, well, you're not going to know about it. But the Cholo dog is very important in our heritage. Mm-hmm. So again, go check it out to go see that. And I think that's why Margarita gets emotional about it.
I love doggies.
Okay, well, with that being said, it is Heritage Month, right?
Hispanic Heritage Month.
So it lasts for what, a full month?
Yeah, a whole month.
It started on the 15th, correct?
Yep, the 15th of September.
To
October 15th.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, last episode, again, we did mention about what was the oldest city in North America. So with that one, I was like, let me see what is a southern city in America that's the oldest.
In the south, a ver, ¿cuál tienes for us?
Do you know or can you guess which one by any chance?
The oldest in the south?
Yeah, Southern America.
I'm terrible geographically. If I would have to say, I don't know.
No? Well, está bien if you didn't take
Colombia?
a try, but it's all good. Well, see, it's kind of funny that you mentioned Colombia, but we're not going to get all into Colombia.
Uh-huh.
But I believe, real quick, that a lot of Colombians feel Mexican, and I think we go vice versa. I think we just feed off each other. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. But, like there's reporters that are Colombian singers, and usually it goes back and forth showing love to each other.
How funny.
So, shout out to Colombia.
I know. Shout out to the Colombianos. It's funny because I was going to talk about that, but then I was just like, okay, there's other things, but that was definitely on my list. So love it that you brought it up.
Okay, well, let's get it going with Peru. Peru is the one that has the oldest colonized city.
Really?
So they're the oldest in Southern America.
Shout out to all the Peruanos out there.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because unfortunately we don't really hear much about them like we do from other countries.
Mm-hmm. So you're like
Colombia, like Brazil with
Venezuela,
the soccer, Argentina again has to do with soccer. So yeah, so it was kind of nice. I was like, all right, something different. And it got colonized basically, excuse me, like Margarita said, if we butcher this or I butcher this because, this is something new for me. So Sabin, Moche, Nazca, and following with Incas. That's basically the oldest tribes. Mm-hmm. So those are the tribes that colonized Peru. Do you know or can you guess? And I hope you kind of know, and I think you do. Mm-hmm. But the official name of Peru, the Republic of Peru. Mm-hmm. Mexico as well has its own name. And I think we just do this to make it shorter. Like, United States, USA. Mm-hmm. What do you think it's Mexico?
No.
Right?
No. That's United States.
Yeah.
No.
Just to throw in a little
MX?
quick fact. No, Mexico is United Mexican States, remember?
United Mexican States?
Yeah.
Los
Eso Estados Unidos Mexicano or Mexico. But we always we just use the
Mexico?
shorter But they do have official names.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen, Mexico is supposed to be called United Mexican States. So I don't know. I think that'd be in English. I think in Spanish would be different. We just mentioned it.
Yeah.
Correct us again. How would you really would say it? Peru has 3 languages. Consist of, this one's a hard one for me, Quechua. So Quecha.
Quecha.
Quechua.
Sounds
Aymara. 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 And then, but last but not least, Spanish. Correct? And again, I think most of these languages will have to do again with the old tribes, those 2.
Yeah.
Anything that you gotta say? I don't want to keep on going.
Just keep going. No, because like no, I'm listening to you, but I'm like, I have something else to say about the whole Hispanic heritage thing. But I want to throw you guys a curveball afterwards.
Okay. If you have anything to say about the Peru, so not yet, maybe these other ones will. As we mentioned, Brazil is mostly common. Argentina is mostly common or talked about here in the United States. Peru is the 3rd largest country, following from Brazil and Argentina in South America.
I did see that. Like they were listed like it was what is it? The most popular language, and Peru was one of them. I thought it was Spanish. What do they? Well, you were just talking about the languages, yeah, which was Spanish. Sorry.
Yeah, Quincha y Aymara is the other languages. And then Peru is one of the richest countries in the world of natural resources, meaning
like
as gold, silver, copper, zinc, lead, iron, natural gas, and oil. So, they're one of the richest natural resources, but they're one of the largest in the world to have it.
Damn.
Can you guess what their money moolah it's called?
It's called pesos?
No. Every day is the key word.
Sol?
Yes. So they're called Nuevo Sol.
Nuevo Sol. That's their currency?
Yes, that's their currency name.
Órale.
So yeah, it was kind of trippy. I was like, Nuevo Sol. Imagine every day going to shop for something and being son 30 nuevos soles.
Nuevos soles.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's an abbreviation for it.
Probably.
Imagine. ¿Cuántos soles tienes? You know, I don't know. El sol.
That'd be
I've
crazy.
never heard that before.
Yeah, so they're called Nuevo Sol. So yeah, it'd be crazy to speak their language money-wise, because sol, like dang, every day hearing sol. So yeah, that was a cool fact that I learned there. But same with money and currency, it is still one of the world's poorest countries.
So it's rich in
natural resources.
In the natural resources, pero one of the poorest
in the world. Going again, what's basically known as geographically speaking, probably one of the poorest countries, but Peru is rich with the natural habitat. Due to most of the ecosystem, it has not been disturbed.
Yeah.
So basically, así como lo miran, it's been like that for several years.
So it's not like here. You know how here it's really big to dig. Well, I mean, I don't know here, but I think, is it? Yeah, it's here in the United States. What's the name? We were just watching it the other day. Ay, ¿cómo se llama? Where do they usually dig? The gold miners?
Oh, Eureka?
Is it?
But, I mean... Yes.
Like here they're trying to get the gold, but allá they just leave it alone. Like they just leave it like it is. They don't really.
Yeah, well, they just leave their natural, like that's meaning like, you know, their natural resources. Maybe they do use or dig or look for it, but they haven't really went out there and, you know, maliciously just started digging. As probably we've heard, you know, the rainforest has been drastically being reduced because they're starting cutting trees. They start, you know, looking for gold, stuff like that. So Peru has been one of them that just hasn't really, you know, touched it and kept its purest. So that's kind of cool, you know.
I wonder why. Here, going back to the gold. Like here in the gold, people who dig it, we do it because, you know, to make profit, to make a living. But allá, they don't.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's probably something like, you know, has to go back to the.
Maybe it's sacred for them.
Yeah, the
maybe
culture
it's sacred for them.
Of them. So they would probably are more into just the natural.
Yeah. Kind of like it just reminds me of India where the cows are considered sacred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
maybe
it's
maybe something
something
like
that long. And with that, with them not really messing with the natural habitat ecosystem, you can find over 6,000 plants, several species found in the Amazon. So
they're part of the Amazon?
yeah, they're most Peru. It's mostly the Amazon.
Fancy.
So
see, I learned in the movie Rio that it's in Brazil.
no, yeah, well, it basically consists of different countries,
Yeah,
but like mostly of Peru. For Amazon,
Yeah.
I think only 10% is like desert
Yeah.
for Peru. So most of Peru country is Amazon.
See, I love that we're doing this because I'm pretty sure somewhere along the lines I heard it. I mean, somewhere, within my life, I learned about this, or most likely in school. But now that we're talking about it again, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Like, I'm learning. Like, I hope whoever's listening or watching is learning too.
Correct. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're trying to do.
In my last topic about Peru, what do you think is their animal? Just like we talked about the Mexico animal, what do you think Peru is represented?
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that it's a dog too.
Negative. There is not a dog.
No?
It is a vicuña. So
Vicuña.
a llama.
A llama?
Yeah. They
llama.
basically have like llama packs. They use them as
Okay.
packs.
No, yeah, I think I've seen that before. Like, I don't know why it just came to my head right now. Llamas, yes.
So yeah, their representation of animal for Peru is a llama.
Fun fact about llama. Are you going to give us a fun fact about
No,
llama?
I just thought it was, it's kind of cool to know these countries, different animals that get represented. And again, what theirs has to do with their back ancestors. They used to use llamas a lot for the cold. And
okay.
and I think one that I missed, guys, and real quick, Lima is the capital of Peru.
Lima, Peru. Did they say for the llama, did they like shed? Do they shed a coat? You know how like for sheep, do they shed and then they use them? So how do they use it for the?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to speak about it, but I do remember seeing like they use their fur or coats,
to stay warm.
Yeah, to stay warm. So I think that's why they made it as their animal.
Yeah. So if anyone's
representation.
watching, if you guys know exactly like any other reasons
Facts.
why, any other facts, yeah. But just a little side note that llamas spit at you. There's a
They
video.
do.
If I find a video, there was a girl that pretended to spit at a llama, like they did the spitting sound, and the llama ended up spitting back.
Yeah, I bet.
And there's also a movie in the llama. Oh no, but where was that at? The movie, The Emperor's New Groove. Where was that at? Where was that setting?
Not sure.
The emperor, because it was like, oh, the emperor, oh, llama. I don't know if you guys know where the setting is at.
That'd be crazy if
Like
it's
the
in
plot,
Peru.
yeah, that'll be funny.
And we never noticed that.
Yeah, maybe because some of like the los monitos and everything like that, they have certain features, and I'm like, maybe it is from there.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to look that up. Now I have to look it up because Disney does that a lot. Like they do a lot of the settings. They do it based off of somewhere. So like Aladdin, Coco, of course, and then Rio, y luego también otra Encanto. Where was that from?
Encanto, yeah,
What was
Colombia.
that? It was Colombia, right? Okay. So shout out to Disney for bringing that out a little bit. Okay, so are you done with your facts?
Así es.
Okay, déjame tirarte una curveball. Okay.
A ver qué tanto de curve tienes y la puede pegar uno o no.
Yeah. So it's great. Like, learning now, like again, like I had said in the other episode, like Lenchito over here said, go check it out if you haven't. I feel like we've gotten a little bit closer to our culture. We're learning a little bit more about our culture. And right now we're learning more about other people's cultures, which is amazing too, because it kind of, it helps us understand each other a little bit more, which is great, right? I love it. I love learning about it. Now that I'm older, I feel like I'm able to enjoy it a little bit more and see things a little bit different. So yes, Hispanic Heritage Month, right? Like you mentioned, we're celebrating that, but here is the catch. Yes, it's pretty much just to celebrate, to recognize the efforts of all of the Hispanics, Latinos, that and all of the contributions that we have made to this country thus far, right? But a lot of people are conflicted with Hispanic Heritage Month.
Okay, why is that?
Some people are saying, well, it's kind of just, it's not really recognizing everyone as a whole, or they feel like pretty much just starting with the word Hispanic. So I don't know if you guys know, but Hispanic, within Hispanic, what do you hear? Like, what words kind of stands out? Hispanic.
I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm not gonna see it double-sided. I think it's just Hispanic, right?
Hispanic.
It comes with probably, if maybe, Southern America, and not really thinking about like Spain as one of them.
Yes. So Spain. Yeah. So Spain, that's word that to me, I feel like it just stands out so much, right?
Okay.
So Spain, a lot of people are conflicted with this because it pretty much derives from the word Spain, Spanish, right?
All right.
So Hispanic is it's pretty much aligned with Spain and the history of Spain, right? They went to a lot of Latin American countries and they colonized. So some people on the contrary, because Spain colonized a lot of these Latin American countries.
Right.
There was a lot of imperialism. They were imperializing. You know what I mean? That they came into these countries pretty much just telling them like, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be like. And I can understand why some people would be upset, right? Because they don't feel like that word is really representing, Mexican, Salvadorian, Costa Rica, and so on. So I can see why some people would be a little bit upset about that. Right. How do you feel about that?
It's just, I understand where you're coming from, but then again, I see... It's again, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah.
Just because if I'm guessing, and again, I'm not 100%, and it's kind of weird because we're talking about Hispanic Heritage Month, but is that just here in the United States or is it all over the world?
Great question. Because I did see, I went to like I think it's the state, no,
I didn't really look into it that far, like saying, oh, let me see if it's around the world. I know it's here in the States. So that's what I'm saying that. So again, if it's the whole world, I understand where people will get angry about, well, Hispanic doesn't really define me. But in reality, it does, because that's what happened. They did come over and kind of took over the countries, correct? But then we go again, like, it's just kind of part of, human, the way that we colonized, the way we became.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it wasn't for that, unfortunately, we weren't going to be born.
Yeah.
And I understand the other part because, again, I think I mentioned it before. My dad had a big thing about Spaniards coming over and taking over, Mexico. So again, it depends the situation you see it. But, let's just try to be positive about it and be like, hey, we've at least have something here in the United States to be able to represent us.
Yeah. See, and I love, and I'm thinking back that I said how we're like understanding our culture a little bit more. So I feel like your dad he put that out there, like my family, again, the like I said in the other episode, that it was always like los terrenos y que, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm glad that he was able to bring that out. But I mean, I'm just bringing it up because I'm just like, okay, just to see the other part, just to see what you think about it now that I know your point of view. But I'm not saying like, that's how I feel like, oh, like that's, why are they doing it? I feel like it's great that they're because I looked it up in the page that it said GOV. So it was in one of the government pages. Oh, okay. So, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm glad that, they're giving, they're acknowledging, and even in their own page, they're acknowledging thank you for what you guys have done for our country. Right. Which is being recognized, because a lot of people don't recognize that. A lot of people that are on the contrary, they're like, well, no, like, screw Hispanics, screw Latinos, go back to your country type of thing. When
and
your
especially
own,
because we lived through that. I mean, obviously not 100% us, but at least 50% because it still have to do with our family. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, even your own government saying, like, not to get all political, but your own government saying, like, is recognizing it, that we are what what has helped, make America what it is right now. Not just us. I'm not saying, we did everything. Of course not.
We've been able to move along.
Yeah, we've been able to move along. But yeah, I mean, I think the best thing that we can do. Oh, and it's something that I had to say. I'll say it at the end. But the best thing that we can do is to continue keeping our cultures alive. Whether you're Mexican, whether you're Puerto Rican, Dominican, Honduran. Sorry if I said that right. And the list goes on. Just like keep talking about it with your kids. Keep those traditions alive. Talk to your kids about it. I know sometimes, maybe my parents were busy. My mom was busy being mom, and dad was being, the hardworking one. Just every single day, it was the same routine almost every single time. But I feel like, hopefully, if we do have kids, I hope that we are able to expose them to the culture, take them to Mexico, or if we're not able to, take them, talk about these things and celebrate certain like today, right? Today, when we're filming this, es el Día de la Independencia de Mexico. Celebrate that. Tell them why it's important. Just like you, I think I learned about the whole when you said about Spain, how they took over their, let's say Mexico. I didn't know that until you told me. I was just like, oh, okay. I want to say it was with you, and I was just like, oh, okay.
But the good thing you are bringing this out, and when we talked about it last episode about Independence Day, it did make me remember a situation. I think I was probably around 7-8 years old, and again, my parents did like about communication, speaking to us. So I wasn't able to acknowledge what he was trying to tell me. So one of the Independence Day grito that was televised out in TV, I was all the way in the kitchen and he was in la sala, right? So he calls me over and tells me basically to stand, almost like we do the Pledge of Allegiance, but I didn't understand it because he didn't teach me. So for him, doing it to me wasn't the right way to do it, because it was more of like, just do it. And for me, it was like bothering, because I'm like, why do I have to do this that I don't know what you're trying to tell me? Show me what it is, what's the meaning of it. Because for me, it's a messy, like, okay, whatever, right? Like, I know we're Mexican. I know, I know what this means, but like, why do I have to stand there and do it? So now I do reflect and I do know what he meant. But again, it is important to teach our children about this.
It really is. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because what happened when we went to the, I'll let you tell the story and then maybe I can elaborate. But what happened when we went to, actually you posted about it, about when we went to the Fiestas Patrias for La Que Buena. Go ahead and tell.
It was just, again, for me, it's not being political or not. And again, I'm not saying I know everything, but I feel like a flag really represents a lot, especially like you mentioned in the episode, what the meaning of the colors about, the animals, like, we don't know what it represents if you're not getting taught. And especially the war meaning, like, that's a big significance for me, because just like the flag of America, it brought freedom. So for me, that's the meaning of a flag, like our freedom. And that's what I hated, and that's why I posted it, not to shame the person that was on it. It was more of like, look, if you don't know nothing about the flag, at least put respect on it, because people have passed away for this.
Yeah, flag. Exactly. People have fought for, whatever country it is, the flag represents something. Yeah. And like you said, we're not shaming the girl, but the whole point is to, to educate your family, because I have another, story. I know someone who, I guess they were in charge of bringing down a flag, the American flag, and again, they didn't know. So while they were bringing down the flag, it accidentally touched the floor.
Right.
Okay. probably didn't notice, probably didn't see it, but somebody noticed it and they just like went off.
Right.
Because that person knows what it represents.
Wow.
But see, now I'm thinking about the situation that happened to us at the Fiestas Patrias. Like I could have, and it was really bothering me. It really was bothering me because I'm just like, oh, like maybe I can educate, if I go up to this person, I can probably educate them. But then I'm just like, okay, like, is it really my place to do that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. It's yeah, maybe we have fall on to it, but then again, the way that social media makes everything now, it's almost as you being a Karen. That could have been a Karen situation for them
moment.
because they didn't.
Yeah.
They're gonna take it more of that nature because again, they didn't get
taught. No, I think Karen's. A Karen moment, let me tell you, a Karen is someone who is trying to make a big scene out of something que no tiene sentido. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't say that that's not how she saw it too. Because
they can see it that way.
Because she obviously had two other people with her and they didn't tell her anything. And again, that's why I'm saying that, because it wasn't like she was by herself. There was other people with her. And if they didn't say anything to her, I feel like, that could have been a Karen moment for her.
For her, yeah. No, I can see what you mean. But yeah, but I feel like, oh, man, and now I'm thinking, I'm like, I should have said something, because, maybe if I educate them, then maybe they'll tell their friends like, oh my gosh, we were at this place and I was laying on the flag. They're making a big deal about it. And then what if whoever is educating be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, like this, you shouldn't be doing that.
It could bring up, to a known source of like them become a chain, and hopefully like this channel we can provide that.
But another thing that I'm thinking, like I know I've seen towels like for the American flag that have the American flag. Like wouldn't it be the same thing?
Yeah.
Or like bathing, how there's bathing suits and then you have like the American flag is pretty much like on your butt. Like is that appropriate?
Yeah, I mean that is,
but then it's cada quien, right?
I mean, yeah, it's cada quien. For me, I guess it's just more the flag that it's a worldwide symbol.
And see, I mean, just going back to it again, like you're going to just try to teach your kids. And me knowing this, if I didn't know all of this, if I didn't do the research and all of that, I still probably wouldn't have known what the meaning is. If I wouldn't have known that story about that person that got confronted by someone that the flag touched the floor, then that's not okay. I probably wouldn't have known. But unfortunately, sometimes somebody has to go through it so that somebody else can learn.
Yeah, somebody.
So
else.
I mean, for me, I feel like that's a learning experience that I should have gone up to, that person.
Yeah.
So, it's a learning experience. I feel like next time I feel like I should say something. But yeah, I mean, yeah. But moving forward, just continue to educate your family, keep your culture alive, whatever it is that you feel that makes your culture, keep it alive. Any inspirational people, keep them alive, because I mean, también within our cultures, there's so many people that are inspirational and continue to make big things. And, and hopefully for generations to come, there's going to be a lot of people who will continue to motivate us, to inspire us. So I don't know if you've seen actually they did talk about it when we went to the Elevate conference. So there's a movie that came out based on a Mexican astronaut. His name is Jose Hernandez.
Okay.
So a little backstory about him. So his family actually worked in the field for many years. He worked in the fields for many years. And luckily, he was able to get an education. He got a really, really good education. He loved science. He loved math. So fast forward. So between 1990 and 2004, I want to say, he attended the Livermore Lab. I believe it's in Texas. And there... catch this. He ended up developing the mammogram. Do you know what a mammogram is?
Mammogram, so it has to do with breast cancer?
Yes. So yeah, so it's to help. It's pretty much a system to help develop. I mean, to help detect early cancer.
Okay.
Right. So I believe it's when like. I mean, the whole details, you know, I think when you turn 40, you have to go get a mammogram. And after so often, you have to go get a mammogram. So he helped develop that. So, woo, thank you for that. After that, he ended up moving on to work at a space station. And there he got the opportunity to go on a space mission and, you know, so I feel like that's super duper inspiration. I don't know. What do you, I know I continue to blabble on, but.
No, I feel like, yeah, as you mentioned, we have not seen the movie, but we have seen the trailer, and it is inspiring to see the trailer where they show, like, you know, he attempted to join the program several times until he finally did it. I do have a question. I don't know if you can answer it. So the mammogram was invented before going to the NASA school or after?
So he was at that school for a lot of years. I mean, at the laboratory for a lot of years. So he helped. I don't know if he helped develop it or he did develop it. So,
but not sure if it was before him going to space or after. Okay.
Oh, it was before. Yeah, before going for the space.
Oh, okay. Cool.
To the space academy, whatever it's called. Yeah. So, and it's crazy. It's funny that I like that you brought that up. That, you know, he was denied several times. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not the only one that was denied. But the thing is that he didn't give up.
Yeah, I mean. Sometimes, you know, when you go through rocky moments, you're like, come on, you want to throw in the towel, but he did not.
I know it's hard, and I'm like, when I saw that trailer, it just made me think of me, like how many job interviews have I gone through, and I've been denied so many times, and even though I've been denied a lot of times, I feel like I'm gonna keep learning from, you know, as far as why I'm getting denied. And looks like from the movie, I mean, I don't know if it looked like he just kept asking questions. He just kept pushing. And I'm pretty sure after every single time that he was denied, he was trying to see, okay, maybe what did I do on the first interview that maybe I didn't cover? And then he just kept trying until, you know, he finally landed what he was trying to accomplish, which was to become an astronaut, go on a mission, and be the first Spanish-speaking person to be able to go to space.
To space. Damn.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Well, you know, Jose, congrats for achieving your goal. And as you see, hopefully once we see this movie, we feel inspirational as well. And whatever we're trying to work on, you know, nos ponemos la pilas, como dice la Margarita, y empecemos a hacer algo about it.
I know. Igual con nosotros, you know, again, shout out to you, shout out to us, you know, that you know, you just keep going with this podcast. You just keep going, and eventually, you know, hopefully who the listeners that are listening to us, hopefully we are able to educate them, you know, because that's our purpose. That's the purpose that we want. We talk about anything. We talk about anything that we want to talk about, and hopefully within that we are educating people.
Yeah, or, you know, just talk about life goals, life rough moments we've had, and if they can go along or reflect back to a situation they've lived through, maybe it helps out.
Exactly.
Well, with your inspirational, you know, spaceman, Jose, it's kind of very inspirational. And I felt like with the analytics that, you know, you're talking about this podcast going to try and be inspirational to someone, the analytics was telling me that most of the channel, it's male. So I was like, well, how can I reach the female audience? And I was like, let me bring to this episode some inspirational meaning as women that have inspired the country or just been, you know, part of the movement of female women to be inspirational to you guys.
Absolutely.
So the first one that I'm speaking about. And again, I just chose a couple. And again, it's just to inspire you ladies to hear some research and be like, okay, now thank you for these ladies. So
Let's
first
go, ladies.
one is Dolores Huerta. If you haven't heard of her, if you have, maybe she was with Cesar Chavez. She basically was one of the founders with him to do the creating the United Farm Association. So I know we talked about this already in another episode about our farmers. And it's crazy that you're talking about, Jose. He used to work on the farms and his family as well. So I was like, dang, like it went 1-to-1 without even talking to each other about a topic by telepatía.
Yeah, guys, because we don't talk whenever we choose these topics. We just we don't really talk. We kind of tell each other what we're going to be talking about, but we don't really go into depth with what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so in this one, it was telepatía. She basically fought for our Central American immigrants and the conditions they lived in, the pay, and the back hurting or back breaking work they used to do, correct? And I know we talked about this, like the living conditions weren't good. There was like 12 people in one little house or cabin. The pay was bad. There was not any laws created yet for the farmer workers, even though there were something so big in a part of time, probably, from I think we said 55s or 52s to 1965 once the laws came in. So, yeah, I mean, thank you again, Dolores Huerta, for fighting for our immigrants to push.
Absolutely.
And then another one that I have, who does not know Selena? Anything for Selena, right?
Anything for Selena.
Yeah, so I chose her because she's inspiring on, pushing the Mexican American. I have to say it that way because I feel like she pushed the music of the Tejano Mexican.
The Tex-Mex.
But then it still went to pop. Because some of her music is pop as well.
Yeah.
Anything you have to say about Selena?
Yes.
Yet?
Recently, somebody came out pretty much claiming that, nope, like Selena didn't really represent the Mexican, the Latino community.
No, well.
How do you feel about that?
No, well, this is saying that basically I feel she did. And I think
I do too.
I think we can speak a little bit more onto it. Just let me give these little few more onto it. So yeah, it's just, again, if she wasn't the inspiration about American or Mexican American, she was only one of the few that went to mainstream with Gloria Estefan.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Rita Moreno was, but I guess it was these times of I don't know what you call it.
Rita Moreno?
Rita Moreno. So I heard some of her music, and it's more like, can we say like theater type? You know how back in the day you went to the ball and they were playing like with the piano and singing.
So like ball music?
I don't know what you call it. Yeah. I mean, that'd be the easiest way to
I'm
like.
not 100% familiar with that genre.
The easiest way to, kind of speak about it, to give you an idea what type of music she's saying. Yeah. So that was kind of it. I was like, okay. And so, yeah, there were the ones that mainstream for American Hispanics. First crossover. And then she did win a Grammy back in 1993.
Who,
probably
Rita? Or
Selena. So probably was one of the first ones to win. Maybe Gloria Estefan too, or maybe también Rita Moreno. Didn't look into that, but I'm saying 1993 Grammy for the same reason as what you mentioned, because I do believe she was one of the most impact for our generation, like to kind of inspire us, to show us like anything could be done, especially with the laws that we were fighting at that moment. Yeah. Do you believe? And I think you do, because you just mentioned like, oh, como que she was an inspiration for us, American, Mexican, or Mexican American.
I feel like she was. I mean, I feel like she was inspiring a lot of Latinos.
Yeah, I mean, if I can remember,
a lot of people actually. She was inspiring just a lot of people.
Especially those years, because again, us growing up in that generation, I think we were hearing more hip hop and R&B for one case, or the other case, La Quebradita was going off at that time. But something that really showed us as Mexican Americans was really Selena, because she used to speak Spanish and English.
Yeah.
I was struggling with English, trying to learn it, especially because our family was more Spanish speaking. So I think she was the only one in our generation to push us to be able to do something. I don't know how old was this girl that was saying that she wasn't an inspiration.
I don't know, but I think she's like an up and coming influencer, or she's trying to. And a lot of people are saying it's like,
So she's young.
Like, yes, I
less
think
than
she's
30,
young.
let's say.
Probably.
Okay, maybe if we're not, if we are, but I think for our generation, yes, she was inspiring, especially, an American, Puerto Rican, J-Lo being the main person role model as Selena. So, yeah, that speaks a lot. If J-Lo took this role to be Selena, that has to say that, yeah, she was an inspiration.
Yeah, I feel like she was. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like with during the generation where Selena was, estaba pegando, there were a lot of Mexican American Americans listening to her. So it was still like she was still, representing the culture. She was representing that she was representing her Mexican American side. I mean, her American side, she was singing songs in English, and then she was also singing songs in Spanish.
And I don't know if this was true, and probably it was, like one of the scenes in the movie that, there's a bunch of Mexican Americans or American Mexican on the stage.
Yeah.
Y que empezaron kind of pushing the stage and damaging the stage. So that's how I feel like that energy was, involved on our generation.
Oh, I think that was in Mexico.
I think it was El Paso, or
El Paso?
close to the borderline of Mexico.
no me
But
acuerdo.
either way, that was very inspirational to see. That was one of the movements that we had. So last but not least, I think everybody knows Jorge Ramos.
Jorge Ramos.
Right? Look at that smile that brought up to her face. You guys will know what I'm talking about.
Not because I was in love with it, because I'm just thinking I think everyone's abuelita, everyone's mama knows who Jorge Ramos is.
Yeah, so Jorge Ramos, just like him, and I'm saying Jorge Ramos for you guys have an idea. I don't know, maybe our younger generation doesn't know. Maybe you have lost and forgot about her. Pero también, basically, Maria Salinas. You remember she was a co-host with him?
Maria Salinas?
She was a co-host with Jorge Ramos on the Noticiero. And I can't really remember, and this is just going off my mind, I can't remember si it had two. So it was at 6:30 p.m. here at Pacific time, and then after 11:30 p.m. They were basically the reporters for Univision.
Yeah.
And she was a big movement. And with her, same thing. I think her parents were immigrants that moved to California and worked in the farms.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I feel like she was a big inspirational on that. Teach us give us the news, but at the same time fight for us for our loss that we have had, just like
Jorge Ramos.
Well, Jorge Ramos and basically Dolores. También,
okay. I see what you mean.
They push the movement to get our laws or speak our mind for us, the Latinos.
See, I don't remember her, but no, I mean, that's something that I heard, and it's true that Jorge Ramos, he really, I'm speaking more of Jorge Ramos because I remember him and I don't remember the other one, but that he really pushed the limits, especially, how he went to the White House, and he was really speaking out. And I mean, reporteros overall, like they were saying somewhere where I heard that, they really put themselves out there. I think it was on IE and Friends. I think they were talking about Jorge Ramos.
Yeah, and with that being said, that's Maria Salinas too. She's been one of the oldest reporters to be for the Hispanic community.
And see, I don't watch the news anymore.
Yeah,
especially for other reasons. I don't know how the reporteros nowadays are. But I mean, ahora ya no, I don't want to watch the news because after watching something that I was just like, oh, damn, they all pretty literally talk about the same thing and, like the whole agenda thing that, the whole conspiracy that they only tell you what they want you to know. But, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. I just felt like it was almost, again, these three people, Dolores, Helena, and her, I feel like they represent the Hispanic community by informing us, by fighting for our laws. And that's why I brought her up, because she's like the biggest known reportera. That 30 years, I believe, she was with Univision.
These reporteros, anyone who worked with Jorge Ramos has probably been there for a really long time.
Yeah. All right. So, with these three ladies basically doing something for us Hispanics, I wanted to go ahead and find some quotes. Sorry for butchering.
Some
quotes. Yes. Some inspiring quotes from Latinas. So I was like, let me give you guys this to be able to, feel inspired when you're down, or just in general for you ladies.
So get ready to clip this. Get ready to...
No. Okay, let's go with the first one. So this quote comes from Myra Rubio.
Myra Rubio, look her up.
Don't wait until you die to be reborn. Your past does not define you who you are. It's a muscle that you are building for your future.
I love that.
Yes.
You know what sorry, go ahead. Were you
No, I say yes. I do love it as you love it.
I love it because the first thing that comes to mind is, what it says, that your past doesn't define who you are.
Right.
Because yes, like we've talked about it in another episode that, sometimes we are who we are because, of our past, but that should not define who you are. Because, you have the power to be able to change, your como se dice, your path. You have the power to change your path. You have the power to define who you really want to be.
Yeah, and I really felt like this one was more for rough times, just as you mentioned. Again, you just mentioned it, basically, with the struggles you've been having of your
childhood.
No, not childhood. Just this episode about, your job interviews.
Oh, yeah.
And you feeling down. That's
True.
why I was like, look, this is, again, if you're going to a rough situation, one moment, I felt like this was a good quote to give out for this episode.
Yeah. Don't let one thing define who you are and what your life should be. Okay.
Correct.
Love that.
Second quote. Success is to be in peace, harmony with yourself, enjoying the moment. And this is from Guadalupe Pira Bentecourt.
Love that. Can you say that one more time?
Success is to be in peace, harmony with yourself, enjoying the moment.
Yes.
And again, it could go back if you feel like you're down, if you feel like, you have enough rough situation. This means for me, like, just remember, push yourself to do it, because at the end of the day, you have to be peace and with yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? Bringing it back to our podcast, I feel like it's already a success. I'm enjoying it. I'm honestly enjoying it. And again, I enjoy that we have whoever it is that's watching us already, whoever's listening to us, whoever's, because you're just, it's going to take, it takes effort to have to, click on the video and listen to us up until now. If you're listening up until now, thank you. Because and I feel like that's what brings me peace, that, we're educating people, we're enjoying it.
Right.
And we're doing it together.
Así es. But yes, definitely, it is a piece. And again, as you mentioned, this podcast could be rough a situation sometimes. Whatever it is, views, clicks, watch time, subscribers, likes, But if you feel peace with yourself, that you enjoy what you're doing, or the way that you're writing your path, hey, that's the only person you need to worry about.
Period.
The last but not least, the opposite of success is not failure. It's being stuck. You have a unique gift that it means to be shared. When fully aligned with the everlasting gift, an unshakable confidence becomes real. Again, I felt like all these three quotes kind of went with
Like
each
went
other,
hand in
like
hand with
yes,
each other?
and you know it's just depending what you are. I felt like one was past, one was present, and then one was future.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt like I needed to keep these.
Not in that order. Was it?
Not
It
in the
wasn't.
order,
It
but
wasn't
I
in the
felt
order.
like
Yeah, I feel like it was past,
hit
present.
it hit each
Yeah,
topic.
like past, present, future.
Yeah.
I love that. Yes, thank you. I like that. I like that you shared
You're
those.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you so very much.
Like, como antes when elementary que no quiera, like give yourselves a pat on the back.
Yeah, pat yourself in the back.
Yeah.
I'm like, no me alcanzo. Oh yeah, I do. I'm like, I just gotta move it. See, sometimes you gotta move, work a little harder to get there.
There you go. I like that one, huh? You're writing your own quote right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sometimes you. Wait, hold on. Let me write it down. Se me va a olvidar. All right, Lenchito. Do you have anything else, or should I throw our last one y nos vamos?
Oh, last one y nos vamos topic. Throw it.
Yeah, not really a topic, but just a couple little fun facts. You know me and my fun facts and my random facts.
No, está
I
bien.
really think I should bring a segment of Margaret's Maguito's random thoughts. And then we can do like a little transition, cling, 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 like little stars. And then I just switch really, like put my Jorge Ramos on and be like, today.
Ay. Okay.
Okay, so the last one y nos vamos. So just some random fun facts of are there any artists that you would do you ever think about maybe some artists are like that might have some Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, whatever heritage, or that maybe that they are and you wouldn't even think? Is there any artist?
Oh, like right now in the present?
Yeah,
Because
like right
I was
now in the
about to say,
present,
Selena, we
past.
just talked about it on this episode. But yeah, in the present.
Present, past, doesn't matter. Like, is there an artist that you know that you knew? I mean, yeah, that you know, but you didn't know that they were.
But we're talking like representing more like in the America.
No, just anything. Like, let's say if I was an artist, but you didn't even think that. Let's say, for example, maybe I was Cuban, but all along you thought maybe I was African American.
Let me see one that comes up to me. Oh, well, one of them has to be definitely, and I think everybody knows, but esta, ¿cómo se llama? What's her name?
Where does she come out? ¿Qué hace?
Esta, the one with Offset.
With Offset?
Yeah.
Cardi B?
Yeah, Cardi
Uh-huh.
B. Like, she's a big artist. And I mean, yes, you can't tell by the accent, right? But like, I would feel like people would think she's African American.
Uh-huh. But what is she? She's Puerto Rican, no? Dominican? Oh, she's Dominican?
Yes.
Okay. So I feel like this one, the one that I'm going to tell you guys, it really blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, no way. Mariah Carey. She's she's Venezuelan.
Really?
Yeah, on her dad's side. Yes. And her real name is not Mariah Carey.
Well, like you saying about your random thoughts, that's obviously one of mine because a lot of these artists do change their name.
Yeah, that's
like an
probably her
artist name.
stage name. Mariah is her real first name,
Okay.
but her last name is not Carey. So let me give you guys a little background. So apparently her dad, when they moved from when her dad moved from Venezuela, to the States, but he wanted to adopt a more like American Western name. So
and we
he
all
changed
know why he was trying to do that, but
yeah. So Carrie, because of course they wanted to blend in. Oh, and that's another good topic that we can have.
And I don't know, I don't want to put anybody out there, but somebody in your family does that too. But we're not gonna go into that one.
Really?
Lo dejamos para el otro episode.
Really?
Dale.
I'm like, I want to know. I'm like, oh, tell me, whisper.
No, dale.
I'm like, tell me. So fast forward, whatever. So he ended up adopting the name Carrie because he wanted to blend in. And then, but her real last name is Nunez, Mariah Nunez.
That's a very, yeah, if she would have had that last name, definitely everybody would have known she was Hispanic.
Yeah, I cannot, like, I think somebody said, like, we could not picture Mariah Carey like any other name. Like, Mariah Carey is Mariah Carey, okay?
And it kind of does suck that we're kind of speaking about this because, again, if we're able to kind of think about it, imagine how much effect her career would have had, maybe.
Probably. Yeah, no, you're right. Ooh, that's another hot topic that we could talk about. And I've thought about this because I've talked to somebody else who, not talked to somebody else, but I overheard a conversation of somebody who was here, but they changed their last name but they changed it because they were ashamed of it. But I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, Mariah Carey.
Está como yo, queriéndome cambiar mi nombre Lorenzo a Jay, pero tú me dices Lenchito, and I always make a fuss about it.
I love Lenchito. It's so cute. No, it's funny when I call you Lawrence, though.
No, eso ya se pasó, ¿verdad? Eso ya me quiere decir italiano.
All right. So next one is Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
What do you think? What do you think he is?
He has to be Puerto Rican, Cuban.
Puerto Rican, Cuban, usually, right? But no, he has Mexican roots from his dad's side. También, the dad.
Now, does he have an actual different last name? It's
different
actually...
Last name? Oh, I didn't know what his last name was, but I know it was something Ramon something.
Yeah. Yeah, again, guys, I mean, there's no shame if you want to change you want to change your name for a stage name. Go for it. I mean,
yeah, like me, Maguito, Lenchito.
Yeah. Well, that's not my stage name, pero el caso es que se puede hacer.
Okay, next one, Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, I knew she was Hispanic.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know.
I don't know how, but yeah, I knew she was Hispanic.
See, Mariah Carey, now that I think about it, she does have like Latina features, like facial features.
Yeah, but I think with her, she's always just been represented as American.
Yeah.
For me, like what I can recall. And I think mostly because, like everything that she has brought out as albums is English.
Yeah.
So I think that's why in my mind, I'm still like, oh, she's American.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cameron Diaz, she has Cuban descent from her dad, her dad's side. Cameron Diaz. I mean, I guess I can kind of see it now thinking about it because a lot of Cubans are light skinned and they have blue eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then again, it takes it back to, history. Last but not least, drum roll, please. Nah, this one doesn't need a drum roll. I'm like, I don't think we need a drum roll.
Hey, they fought for their what artist? I don't know what you want to their artist life.
So Nicole Polizzi.
Nicole Polizzi.
Do you know who that is?
Isn't that the governor?
Oh, hell no, I don't think she'll be a governor.
Who is she?
Also known as Snicky.
Oh, no.
Get crazy, get wild. Okay, so we part of we grew up watching them, kind of, sort of. So she's not
sort of. You did grow up watching them, and you're still watching them. So
I guess
you
so, right? Yeah, because we were
kind of, sort of.
We started watching them when we were like 19, 20. So yeah, we're still watching them. So yeah, so she was adopted by an Italian family. That's why she has the Italian last name. Mm-hmm. But she was adopted by Italian family, but she's actually Chilean. De Chile.
Chile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from Chile. And I remember them saying that in one of the episodes, but after I saw it, I was like, oh, maybe somebody out there doesn't know. But if you were brought up Italian and that's pretty much what you're gonna represent.
Yeah, because that's what you kind of know.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, literally, like that's all you know.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, folks, that's all I have. Okay. I did want to talk about the Caesar salad. Did you know? You don't know? We'll just leave that out.
Well, no sé. Tú, pues, de parte se oye como parte italiano. So maybe you can clarify it.
I guess, a good point. So just, I guess, the real last one, nos vamos one is that Caesar salad. Where was Caesar salad invented?
Pues yo sé, made up Sorry.
Inventado.
Inventado en español. En Tijuana.
En Tijuana, en TJ. Yep.
En TJ.
I did
todavía
not
está
know
ahí, el
that.
restaurante todavía está ahí.
Yes.
And
Well, I'll post a picture.
And they still make it basically in front of you.
Yeah.
They start making the salad.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's funny because it's not, for us, like me, we're familiar with the Caesar salad. That's, it's in the bowl. It's chopped up Romanian lettuce with some croutons, a little Italian dressing. But when they invented it, it was pretty much on a whole Romanian leaf. And I think they put like croutons, but it was just like finger food. Nomás lo comías así como si fuera like, un taquito. Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, guys, Caesar salad is not Italian. It's basically Mexican.
Sorry about it. It's not.
Okay.
Now I'm questioning Little Caesar's pizza.
No. Well, ya para cerrarle, I do have one more. Y ustedes, gente, van a decir, and this is not really a topic, it's just something that I want to share.
A random thought with Lorenzo. Gling, 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 gling.
And I know people are going to be like, you guys are freaking tóxicos. Pero I'm sorry to say, but, it is part of our culture, and that's why I'm bringing it up. And again, congrats to Peso Pluma for being at the MTV BMA Awards. Not a lot of Mexicans have reached that, so that's why I'm bringing it up to you guys.
That is. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was the first Mexican. Was it Mexican or Spanish overall?
I think a Mexican song.
Just Mexican in the VMAs?
Yeah.
That's awesome. See, that's how like right now it's the era where like we're becoming known.
Yeah.
And what a perfect timing during Hispanic Heritage Month.
Sí.
He's performing before El Grito de México.
Yeah. So, again, guys, congrats to him. And para cerrarle, again, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Así es.
Y viva México.
Hasta next week. Peace.
Woo, bye.